Thank you.
Feels like I'm on a sitcom.
Yeah, but you know how we start the show, man. So I hope you guys practiced, and I hope you guys are gonna do this with me. To those that know, and 3, 2, 1. Blimbal, Chicken Chow Mein, aka Big Warren, and a whole bunch of other AKAs.
Oh la la.
Let's go.
Oh la la.
Not bad. I mean, I think I'm gonna honor the guests with the
Kill
AKA today, yo. Hey, yo, it's Big Fred, AKA Young Squad of Camp, cause I'm where them cuckoo function. It's gang.
That was nice. Y'all know my one. Thank you. Tigizo of it.
And we got to give this man his flowers. You know, just because we're doing this live, you know, he's not escaping the flowers. You know, we've got a pioneer. We've got a ventilator. You know, we got an on-lifer. You know what I mean? We've got an author. You know what I mean? We've got a documentarian. You know? But most importantly, we've got a human being. He goes by the name of Slikour.
Oh.
Yeah. Round of applause, niggas.
Thank you.
Oh man, Slikour, I don't know. You know, when every time we talk to you, it's like we're going on a treasure hunt, and anytime you bump into Slikour, you know, you find all the jewels. You know, because that's all you give us. You know, and I think for the purpose of this session, I think that's what we want to do. Right. You know, we want it to be a jewel sharing session. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that's what the people deserve, and that's what the people want to hear from somebody of your stature. You know?
Shut up.
You know what I mean? And in terms of you, like, what's your temperament right now, and how are you feeling, and what's the mission at this current juncture in your life?
If I tell you how I'm really feeling right now...
Just pull the mic closer.
Yep, you need to get closer?
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah. You're a rapper, bro.
You know, you get trained in how to hold a mic when you're...
the wrong way.
Don't we hold your mic like this, man? You nobody here who do like this, you know what I mean?
What not to do.
You know, yeah, you know, so I gotta learn the podcast shit. Yeah. Right, so I think right now, you know, I'm just vibing, you know, it's open invitation for me right now. I'm not tied down in my ways. I'm open to learning. I've been doing a lot of that, you know, as you know, don't know, I've kind of launched a fintech platform, a creators fintech platform, and it's cool to say creator, but then you go fintech, it's the whole banking industry. So I'm literally almost like shadowing people who work in the banking world and getting advice, getting taught on what literally is legislation, what's not legislation, how to think of expansion, how to position yourself for investment, and I'm literally like learning, and as you know, we've been doing a lot of online content, but we're also doing like some TV content. But you know, I've got an ambition to start doing content globally. So I'm now speaking with directors who are teaching me, bringing me into the environments on how they, you know, I mean, I tell them the kind of money I'll make on the content I'm doing, and they're like, bro, you know. so you know, it's almost like you're on the online content, you're on the 100,000s, then you get on the TV, you're on the millions of you know, you get onto like the global streamings, you're on the 10 million pluses, you know, it's leagues, you know.
Yeah.
So you never get there. So I'm being taught by guys who are in those leagues of the 10 million plus, and not like a whole like 40 episodes. The guys 5-6 episodes, you know. I'm in those. I'm being educated by those guys. Yeah. I'm literally going to my first kind of let me get to feel the environment space like next week. And like this morning, I was just in another meeting with some of the guys that are working on the finance stuff, but I'm being taught. And then the AI space, you know, literally my last meeting, the reason why I'm late is I'm being taught about that also, you know. So I'm just getting, and you know, when you start getting taught, the information starts coming in. It's almost like your mind opens it up and the universe just goes, yo, you got to read this. And people start sending you stuff and you're like, oh, how did he know that I'm learning right now. I'm learning for tomorrow right now.
So you're never too old to intern.
Yo, man, my whole life is about interning. I was interning how to make music in the studio because I wasn't a music guy. I never went to music school.
Yeah.
When I figured out how to make a little living out of music, then I saw brands were working. 20 years ago in 2003-4, I was interning inside Coca-Cola also because they were telling me we were almost like the first guys as a music business to actually work with brands directly as a company, not as artists, you know? So even there, I never knew words like consumer, marketing, segmenting, through the line, I literally learned that inside Coca-Cola. I was interning inside there, and that's how literally I got into the world of marketing and branding, because I literally went there to learn. But I was at my prime. I was a superstar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I went there to learn. And
You're still a superstar.
To this day.
God willing.
To this day.
God willing, if He allows it, you know. But right now, besides that, I got a family, you know. I got kids. I need to be educating my kids, thinking about their future. But it's like, as I've told my kids before, I go, you know, I'm on my own, just like you on your own. But I just need to take care of you. So I constantly have to. I constantly have to resolve that this life of ours is never fully understood, and we're always trying to understand it, because this is where, you know, even on days where like business is not good, when the cash is low, and you think I haven't created this idea of invisible. You know, I've always created an idea of, yo, you know, shit does get real, but this life is a constant. Like I told my son, and my son literally has kind of understood that I'm figuring my life out. Even when my son talks about my ambitions and the things I'm doing, he goes, you know that thing that you're doing, I know you're going to make it work though. You know, he goes, you know, when it gets big, he corrects himself because it's going to get big, you know. So even he understands that I'm working on myself. And I tell him, you got to work on yourself too. It's just that I'm your dad and I'm guiding you. But I can't literally like be there if you're not working on yourself also. I like my son constantly, yo, put on lotion on your feet, do this. He comes out and he's got some moods and he's moody. And I say, you have a problem. I'm happy. You know, you going through that. You mad at something that happened at school, or you mad that I never did this. Why did you expect me to? You have the problem. So, you know, it's that constant independence of literally no one is giving us anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Till this day, that's why I'm going to learn, because I could be comfortable and going, I got content on online, on SABC or MultiChoice, but I'm saying, but what if I want to learn to go to the world, because that's not the ceiling, right? And that's the constant thing. It's like, are you working on yourself to learn, to get better? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Dang.
Now,
Oh, you want to go?
Yeah, you just dropped a book. Not so long ago.
Yeah.
How's that doing?
You know, it's a part of my life, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know how it's doing, to be quite frank. Yeah. The thing is that I never look at the scoreboard, you know, because the scoreboard is only made by man. The scoreboard literally like deflates what you really want to put out, you know, because if I knew what everything and what everyone and everything thinks of me, and I was living on Twitter or comments or whatever the case be, the more you look out, the less you look in. You know what I mean? The more you put that energy on looking out, the less you put the energy in, you know? And the truth of the matter, in life, we are supposed to do good things, bad things. We're supposed to do things that work and don't work. So if you're constantly trying to measure yourself by looking out on what can work or won't work, you won't really know where's the strength and what you need to work on. So I don't really want to look out all the time. I just want to do what I do. And when I hit a wall, it literally is a wall that literally reflects on, well, your mind, because I always need to go, where was this thought rooted in?
Yeah.
Did I see you guys do a podcast and I said, I want to do this? And then I go, that's the problem. It's because so whenever I literally go, where are some of my things that don't work rooted at, and they always refer to something or someone else's energy, that's when I go, well, that's why it didn't work. Yeah. But if it refers to my energy, and it still doesn't work, I just go, okay, try it this way. Yeah. Because, so pretty much that's what it is. So I don't know how the book is doing, but we did the book, and imagine that. You know what I mean?
It's beautiful.
You know?
It's beautiful.
Just before, well, I know you got a point, but just on the book part, I think the why you had the urge to write a book is quite important. Why did you feel the need you had to document it in book form, being that you're such a digital, forecaster and a digital staple? You know, it will be so easy for you to tell your story digitally, in audio form or audio visual form. Yeah. But you decided
it's not
to go.
I'm not.
But you decided you went the book route, that like a very traditional route. Why did you feel that was so important?
You know, in life, you gotta always understand the power of leaning on people. You know, it's like the guy that I'm gonna the director who's gonna invite me and teach me his world of the 18 millions. He's not well versed in the rest of life like I am, but he's a master in what he does. So I'm a student there. You know, he'll come to me and I'll show him something else, you know. In life, you must always know that, like, you could be everything, but you're going to be a student somewhere. Yeah. So when I sat and I was about to do I don't know who writes a book, who feels themselves and goes, I need to write a book. You know what I mean? Shit, I ain't old enough to write a book in my head. You know what I mean? But how it happened, we were at like sort of a gathering like this, and I was with Helen, you know, Helen Herembe.
Herembe Muremi.
Yeah, Herembe Muremi, yeah.
I knew you were gonna throw that in. I was like, you know, that was like, can I get a hoe? Yeah, that's it, you know. So and you know, like she literally just came to me and it was like, they were talking about stuff, but they never talked about squatter camp, right? And about the history of hip hop. And then she came to me and she said, you guys are being forgotten in history. And, you know, my thing of everything is what it is. You know what I mean? You're only as important as how you feel, but not as how you think people think. You know what I mean? Yeah. So she basically told me something like that. And I said, Helen, if people forget, they forget. You know, it's like, it is what it is. We did what we did. I know we did it. You know what I mean? And she was like, yo, you got to write a book. And I was like, Helen, a book. Imagine writing a book like now me. I'm out here sitting writing a book. You know what I mean? I got ADD. You know what I mean? The book will jump from one subject to the other, you know? And she's like, look, I can help you write it. And I was like, well, Helen, look, this is industry talk, by the way. This is industry talk. I said, Helen, here's my reality. I'm busy like this, but generally I get like 2 or 3 hours open every week, and if you can literally take those 2 or 3 hours, we could literally make the time. And this book thing literally was a 2-year process where Helen literally followed through. That's the problem with the industry. It ends there, right? But Helen followed through. So Helen followed through, and every week, because I'm doing other things, the last thing I'm thinking of is a book, right? But in my life, I can't say I'm so busy I don't have 2 hours, you know? But if literally I'm planning for, like, this week, if I plan the next 52 weeks, and I say each week I must find 2 hours, believe me, there is. Yeah. So literally we did that. Helen came every week. We never did it every week because sometimes it'd be stuff that I need to read through, or like she wouldn't be around, or I wouldn't be around. But it literally took us like 2 to 3 years to write this, you know? And yeah, you know, when it was done, like, we're like, okay, now what? And the publishing thing came through. We got a publisher. Are we doing it independently? And I was saying, Helen, you know, it's not. This is not a business, you know. This is. I'm not gonna be independently selling this book. I got no time for that. It's not a business. Go give it to people. Let's give it to people who sell books, you know. And we gave it to people because it's not really a money thing, right? And that doesn't mean Penguin shouldn't pay me my royalty, but but the reality is that, like, you know, I mean, that's what had happened. But the lesson that I took from there is two. If you literally like allocate time on something and you believe in it, just 2 hours, 3 hours. We literally completed a whole book that's sitting in like a book stand right now. That was never going to happen if I never just gave it 2-3 hours a day.
Consistent.
You want to do something different in your life, if you're busy with other things, but there's this other thing that you have, consciously allocate that time weekly and repeat. Randomly. We never had Penguin. We never knew who was going to do the book. I think 2 people rejected us. They took us. But we never wrote the book because we knew someone was going to take it. But when something is done, it literally opens the door for the next person to pick it up.
Nice.
The second lesson I kind of learned to that is that, remember, Helen was my master. You know, I got to be 100. She is a writer. You know what I mean? She literally says to me, I go and I talk my shit, blah, blah, blah. She goes, nah, is that what you really want to say? Ah, yeah, Helen, you know, I maybe had a bad day. Yeah, fuck it. And then she goes, okay. Then she comes back, she puts it back on, and she makes me read it. I go, Helen, what the? She goes, that's what you said, you know? And I'm like, oh. But, you know, she was literally almost like, I feel like she was babying me through the process, you know? So, once again, Helen is but she just became a master in the space of 3 years, right? Without her, there's no this book. You know what I mean? And anything else that spills over, like from this book, there's none of that without her. You know? So you gotta understand, once again, I was submissive. I was a student. You know what I mean? I never told her how to do the order, she'd be like, yo, what do you think about? I'd go, Helen, I don't know, what do y'all normally do? You know what I mean? And at that time, she was my master.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what this is how you move forward in life. People think that they always gotta be like on top, but you gotta know where you gotta be submissive. Yeah. The fact that Helen feels there's a story about me, she's saying there's maybe value in you. So humble. So I can't stand on her. She's literally said there's value. So what else am I gonna say to her except go, well, where is the value? And she pulls the value through the book. And then when everybody sees the book, it's got my big-ass face there. It's written Slikour. Yeah. And then you got Helen there, but it's got my big-ass face. You know what I mean? She's literally like, almost like powered me up, right?
Yeah.
She's giving me that power. And I can sit here and say, I did it. But she's actually like, she's almost like the panels to the lights in the house. You know, she's the ESCOM that's working to the lights in the house. You know what I mean?
Make ESCOM great
But you
again.
just live in the house and you're not aware.
Yeah.
But she's the power of that. And that's what life is. Life is constantly knowing where you are a student. You know,
Nice.
what kings do, kings know when they should actually be students. You know what I mean?
Kings know when to follow.
Kings know when to follow all the time.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You literally know when to follow all the time.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what it is. So my life is made out of a lot of people like Helen, who literally show me, who literally give me game, who literally say this and this and that. You know what I mean? And I'm always just trying to share that game also and just go, yo, da-da-da-da-da. So I'm also a product of lessons. This just never came. I never went to a school for this. But the one thing that I know, I just follow my gut. My gut is the only thing I know I have, and my gut puts me in the spaces, you dig?
Shout out to the God, man.
Shout out to the gods. The gods, not the gods.
Yeah, I just want to track back a bit, take it back to this fintech thing with creatives. What is that and what does it look like and how does it work?
Okay, so there's a story to it all, right? Because nothing comes from the sky, except the baby that's dropped by a stork.
Wow. Dad joke.
No. I'm going to close the loop there. That means that shit is not real. You know, so anything that comes from the sky is not real. So by default, we all know from, well, at least hopefully we should know, you know, the whole slickonlife.co.za thing, the idea was to, for us, we are very aggressive on the fact that we're a music platform. You know, we don't give a damn about what's happening in your house, your trolls. That's nice. Your life, you know, but we really like a music platform. You know, we try to do as much as we can with the little we have, right? So that's a huge focus for us. It's our gift and our curse, you know. So with that being said, one of the things that I always kind of did, and by the way, as a side note, here's something interesting. It's 10 years of Slick on Life this year, as a side note.
Alala.
You know? .co.za, you know? So I sat there and I said, and this is the beauty, because this is why I know that like there's going to be another 10 years because of what I'm learning right now, right? But it will be in different forms. So we sat there and we were like, you know, this was in 2018 or 19. I said, we need to do more because we got the download platform where artists are downloading. So the streaming companies were always like on my neck, like, it's illegal. I said, I know your business model, but I don't know, but you don't know my business model. This is my business model. So that's what was working, right? So the one thing that I wanted to say to meet the streaming companies halfway, I was like, we gotta actually like allow artists to distribute their music on the website. This was in 2019 or so, because COVID hadn't even hit us. So now I start looking for partners. So I can't do a deal with another streaming aggregator, because if I'm with an independent, like let's just say, you give me an independent distributor.
I can give you a great one, the best.
TuneCore.
TuneCore.
Okay.
The best.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Let's just, before TuneCore was even existing, right? So in our market,
BT.
right? Yeah. Now, let's just talk about all the distributors. I can't do a deal with a local distributor at the time. And just as a side note, like, I can't do one because if you sign with me, and they're going to give you a better deal by default. So now the deal won't make sense. So I want to do distribution on Slick on Life, but the deal will never make sense because, I mean, even myself, I'll go, but you want to get a better split, go there. You know, maybe I can beat you a service, but like, so the business model never works. So I was going to different guys, and even if I was with labels, like all of them, they wanted, like, the idea of distribution is so like uncommon for a black guy to be thinking of that they want to give you an artist deal. You know, they want to treat you like, it's so uncommon. Even other artists, when artists talk to you, they go, oh, so you're like ambitious. I'm like, no. You know, it's nothing like that. You know what I mean? And I'm just mentioning them as a label, not because of
Whatever.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Nice save.
Thanks for catching that. Whatever, you know. So you know, I literally like then like have to find a company that can give me a deal, and not only in my deal am I looking for distribution, because for me the company is Slick on Life, so I don't see us not a distributor. But the website .co.za will distribute. So everyone I'm trying to speak with, I'm trying to go, I also want to build the platform on my website. So I struggled for years. And then, you know, I even get an offer from one of the distributors, the distributors to get a job, you know, as a distributor guy. You know, they set up meetings with the New York office. Like, I even get so now I'm like, oh, here's a job. You know what I mean? I can leave this company and say, you guys that work with me, I'm tired of this shit. You know what I mean?
Why were you taking those meetings, though, at that time?
Because my thing is that I went to those guys that were trying to hire me, and I said, no, this is how we can make it work. So you see, with everything that the world is made up by rules, right? Everything that you're abiding to, whether it's your streaming, your YouTube, the shoes you wear, whatever. There are rules that are made in the world that sometimes are so forgotten, but they exist that we don't even know they exist anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they were coming with their rules on how they want to go. And I said, with everything that I say is that, but what are my rules? So I literally told them my rules. I said, this is how we're going to work. This is how you want to come into my market. You are telling me that, like, you are sitting there in New York, you've got an idea, you want to come in, this is the rules here. And this is how I will literally hold those rules and then bring you in. I don't think they like that, you know, so they never called me. So they hired someone else, right? Someone else.
Hey, well.
Yeah, shit.
Okay, cool.
You already knew. So they hired someone else, cool. And I mean, and when we were cool with this guy, he went back to them to go, yo, guys, to his credit, you know, when they hired this guy, he literally went back to the company that the company is owned by Sony, so you'll figure it out, right? Or
we figured it out. We figured it out after a long time.
You guys.
Good. That's why I went.
No, but to his credit, literally, he went back to them and he said, the rules that this guy is trying to create with his platform, this is how we should go.
Dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we set up the meeting. We did a call with the global guys, whoever doing, and then, you know, the guys never got it still, right? All right, then we move. Then I finally find a partner, and when I find a partner, now people see what I'm doing. Now everybody literally goes, yo, that partner you have, ooh, you better watch that partner. And I'm like, but none of y'all were trying to mess with me when I was trying to come in.
As in the partner's shady?
You know, they be like people. People be talking like it's almost like you gotta watch that partner. You know they did this. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean. So and I go, I don't know everybody's deals. You know what I mean. I know
Truth.
my deal. You know what I mean.
What's this partner? Is it an entity or an individual?
So it's an entity also. But within this entity, I'm able to do a deal that allows me to be competitive with everybody distributing in the local market. In fact, I'm even better than some guys that are distributing in the local market when I do an 80-20 split.
If you don't mind me asking, at what cost?
At what cost?
As in, what's in it for them?
I don't know. I just did my business, man. You know what I mean?
bet.
I mean,
We respect it.
what's in it for them is who they're working with and the rules that I'm literally bringing in.
Okay.
Even till this day, I have fights with them all the time because of my rules. You know?
Yeah.
And my team are like, well, you know what? Then F them then, you know. But it's a constant, there's nothing that's smooth. But at the end of the day, I just want to, if you're going to sign with me, I don't want to be beaten by anyone else in the local market, no matter who they are, whether they major or they minor.
Nice.
Right? So I never wanted to start a distribution company where already the money is shady and I'm only giving you good service.
Yeah.
And I can't control the shadiness of the money.
100%.
So literally we go 80-20, we do our deal. Cool, we do that, that gets closed. Now, when we get in, the question you're asking was based on the fintech, right? Now, what happens is, I literally, by the way, once again, had to learn the music industry around COVID again, because I've been like this online guy, so now I'm learning the music industry. Okay, how does the streaming work? They always complaining 3 cents, 4 cents, blah, blah. Now I figured out, okay, how does this music industry work? So literally a whole year I figured out how the music industry work. A whole year then we literally do distribution, but we do it for people that we close with, that we know, that come and approach us. I've got a problem with my label, da-da-da-da. So we do it with those guys, right? Then I quickly learned, damn, okay, I see where the business is in music streaming. The business in music streaming, obviously, like is the collective revenue that guys make. Now, I can sometimes pay a guy like 5,000, sometimes pay a guy 15,000, sometimes a guy needs 2,000. I pay Minnie's bank, he gets hit with these bank charges, by the bank charges.
Of course.
So I start going, you know, so the artists are just like, it's like you got 2,000 in a quarter, you still get hit by a bank charge. Okay, why don't I build a system where, like, if I pay you, you don't get hit by a bank charge? This is where the wallet comes in. This is where the fintech platform comes in. So it starts off like that, right? But don't worry, inside the fintech platform, there are charges when you move money around.
Oh.
That's a worry.
That's the game.
Don't worry, you know.
Full disclosure.
God never made no fool, you know. But, you know, then I go, okay, so if I do that, right, what that does, what in our build, you'll be able, I know we've been testing it from some people who've used the platform and bought tickets, you'll be able to actually create your own ticketing system as an artist. So you could literally sell your own tickets. You'll be able to create your own mobile merchandising platform. And because now I'm doing distribution, and when I get paid distribution, I'm able to project that an artist like 123 makes X amount, and so I want to give like advances. You'll be able to get a loan on the platform also. So we'll have what we call like a creator's loan, right? And as this idea kind of evolves, we go, but wait, the future, and this is very important, right? The future of like of spend is gonna be or at least like regulating and consolidating the spend of entertainment and lifestyle. That's literally the future of banking, because what is everyone going? Everybody wants leisure. Everybody wants a break, but this is not regulated. There's no one platform that goes, you know, this is the space of culture. Like banks in general are general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can't play in the banking space without the banking knowledge. So I can't diss the bank. You know what I mean?
True.
So, you know, I literally got to go, the bank doesn't have this, but they the master at being banks.
Yep.
And then I'm bringing this side. So now our ecosystem literally allows you to, distribute, but then one thing I realized at the end of the financial year for our distribution is that, hey, in our testing, guys haven't collected their royalties. And I then figure it out. Then I remember a story of one artist that literally had like close to 3.2 million that they hadn't collected in 4 or 5 years. Sitting there because of streaming, just building, right? Then I go, oh shit. And then I realized also, hey, banks in the world are starting to buy like music rights, right? So at the end of the year, I'm sitting there and I've got this money which belongs to artists which hasn't been claimed. And it's a couple of 100,000s, right? And this is on our test mode. It's not even on our launch mode, right? And I go, there's some power here. So I reach out to all the artists we're distributing. Guys, I've been speaking to an asset management company. You know, if you guys are not collecting this money, why don't we make the money grow? And just to actually show you my commitment to that, I'm not going to take my 20% that you take. I'm going to invest with you guys too, right? So now we literally sitting with this money, and we go, let's start putting this money. We got a proper asset management company. Literally, they're just waiting for the first like bulk. The artists have signed up, those who are actually interested in investing. But this is only the beginning. We're saying that when we start making 2, 3, 4, 5 million, and that hasn't been collected, we're going to move from just putting money in stocks or whatever. We're going to start buying buildings, right? We're going to start buying things. We're going to start integrating into the economy. And what you're going to have 100 artists that literally probably own that own venues, that literally are invested in property, that are literally invested in beverages, because, you know, we know the deals that beverages have with artists where they give them a royalty. But now these artists will be able to we'll go with these beverage companies and go, yeah, we do want a bottle, but we don't want the royalty. We also want to invest in creating this bottle. So now we become equity owners. Now, here's the reality. The story about black folks is that we got to get our economy. The only reason we can't get our economy back is because nothing is true to us. Not how like Eskom was built, not how none of these things were truly built for us, by us. And it's like me taking something that doesn't belong to you, but because I feel that like you built it out of harming me, now I want to take it. But that thing was built off an energy of hate. You know, it was built off an energy that was taken from us. So the reason why it's going to be difficult for us to get the economy back is because everything we're trying to get back is almost like a reaction. You guys did this, so we're going to do that. You know, you guys heard us, so anything that's done off reaction, and that was like when I started my conversation, anything that's done off reaction, if I'm doing my part, now I want to do it, now I want to get couches, because the Sobering got couches, you know, and they're doing it, you know, everything that's done out of, anything that's not your truth, doesn't have longevity. And this is the problem with the country. The ESCOMs of the world, all these parastatals and all these things, they weren't built by us for us.
Yeah.
They were built literally out of maybe a greedy or an opportunity or whatever, but they weren't built. So when we go and we take them and we want to get the equity, we can win immediately. But in the long run, if they're not truly ours, literally we will stumble in the long. Everything that's happening is just how things happen when you take things on a reactory mode.
Sure.
So you can blame the government. No, this is the energy of karma, the energy of taking things out of reactive, right? So with that being said, if we, you okay?
I'm chilling. I'm coming.
He's pulling a Rick Ross.
Yeah, I see you. But if you see things that way, then you know we have that. So now, how we gonna get our economy back is that I know for a fact till this day, if you can put me anywhere in the world, you know what's the first thing I'm gonna do without me thinking? Pull up my phone. I'm driving thinking of rhymes and lines.
Yeah.
This I don't know where this stuff is coming from.
It's automatic.
Bro, I got songs that are not released. You understand?
Yeah.
I was writing some rhymes yesterday. I said, hey, just focus on your work, bro. Because this thing literally it's in me.
Yeah.
You know, it's natural.
Yeah.
These kids that are creating amapiano, drum, mtwako, whatever you're doing with this trap, AT, these kids that are doing this, these vibes are coming from somewhere inside.
Yeah.
You know how they gonna get the economy back? By literally like, thank God, this is now where like I know streaming companies they take shots at them for what they pay, but streaming companies are actually our new investment portals. For every time they play that song is as good as like a guy coming in from Liberty or Discovery saying that, so invest in 5 years, it's going to grow by 2 cents. Every day it grows by 2.
Yeah.
Every time they playing your song, that's an investment. Streaming companies are like a whole investment hub right now, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I go, the only way that black people are going to get the economy back is through the truth. And the truth is going to be in the music. I'm telling you, the new owners are going to be the creatives because this streaming thing has been built for them to build like money that grows exponentially and in increments, just like any type of investment. And that's why global banks are now buying. I'm spending 50 million. Nelly's just sold his catalog for 50 million. Dr. Dre just sold his for like 250 million.
Yeah.
Who's buying it? The banks, the guys that know about interest and growth.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if we don't start looking at music from that lens, that means that they're ahead of us. So hence, when I sat with the revenue for 1 year, and I said, this is the future. Because they're doing it in the world. We're just doing it in another way, back door. So when you come and you sign with Soul Distro, you're not signing with the distribution business. You're signing with the music investment business. That's what we're going to become. We're going to be a music investment business, and even past my time, there's going to be guys that own shit. Or literally they'll be bought out if they literally say, I want to get... There'll be guys that own shit who never thought they'll own shit just because they made music that they love and they reached an audience. That's where we're going. It's political, it's economical, it's not music for me. It's personal also.
Yeah,
Yo.
but a layman's... Okay,
It's a
I'm back now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can see you back.
Can see you back.
A layman's term, how does this work? Because usually when somebody put up music on Slikour or live, it was a downloading of the platform and you can enjoy it however. But then with this new platform, Slikour Distro, how does it work? Is it streaming? Is it
Soul Distro. So there's a tab. We've literally introduced a new look site. So there's a tab. You click on Soul Distro and you fill in.
Just
all
be
your
closer to
details.
Mike.
Oh yeah, sorry. So we've literally launched kind of a new look site. So there's a tab. You click on Soul Distro and you get into Soul Distro and you sign up and then you're able just to get your music loaded. So we're doing everything, There's nothing special. There's nothing different. It's the heart. It's the mind. It's the why. And let me tell you one thing for a fact. I'll tell you when the airport was built, when the railroads were built, when the power stations were built, by the Afrikaners. They were doing it for one thing, because they wanted to create jobs for their people. Why were they doing it why were they doing that for their people? Because they cared for their people. You dig? So what people don't understand is that we need to build things that literally like are off the premise of caring for the people and our people. But then when they there's nothing wrong commercializing that, as long as the premise is that. That's why when like a company comes from anywhere, anyone comes from anywhere in the world, and they try to take over it, and it dilutes or whatever happens. I mean, shout out to Lokshin culture, you know, and rest in peace to Wandi. But when Lokshin culture is like Wandi and Chubby, it's something else. When Lokshin culture gets sold, because Wandi and Chubby, like, and you put a business layer over it, and it's just a business layer. There's that cultural thing that's missing. Yeah. The brand is still making money. Yeah. This is what I want to say. Similar to like when I say like, you know, when we're working in these companies, it doesn't mean you are not doing well. It doesn't mean, you know, it's just that like if it's not built for you, it's just helping you to take care of what you need immediately. But it's not something that literally like is built off the care of your people. So when we start like doing things bespoke that think of our people, because we care of them. I don't know everything about my people, but the fact that I care, you know, a guy can sign with us. Tomorrow he comes to me and goes, yo, man, so-and-so is offering me like a deal of X amount, you know, and he's got a 3-year contract with us. Then I go, so what does the deal look like? Okay, cool. It's not a problem. I ain't going to hold you, but maybe let me get my lawyer to go sit in the room with you just so you make sure you're moving in the right place. Then, you know, our lawyer literally will go. It's happened before. Our lawyer sits in with the major that wants to maybe do the deal with it. And if like, then we give the kid, then our lawyer gives real feedback. This is what's happening, Some guys go, okay, we're signing still. That's nandaba. This is a major baba siyahamba. Or they go, I'm going back. Yeah. You do that out of care, or alternatively, you can go, after everything we've done, we built you now you want to leave it. You know what I mean? Bro, if your energy doesn't want to be with us, I ain't trying to be with you also. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's all it is. We only love those who love us back, right? You know what I mean? And that's me also now speaking as a human being, not as a boss of a company, not as a guy from, not as whoever you think I am. It's me speaking as a, yo, you don't feel me? I respect that. Or you don't feel my team. That's cool. You've got the power not to feel my team, you know, because that's the beautiful thing of options, you know, and discretion. You know what I mean?
So you were just saying then you don't tie anybody to contracts then?
No, we do have a contract.
So then what's the purpose of that contract if you can also just navigate from an energy perspective when somebody can say, well, I'm not feeling this anyway, so deuce.
I mean, there's two things. If I haven't put any money from an investment perspective, you know, and
Mike?
Yeah, there's two things. If you don't owe me nothing, it's all right. You know what I mean? If you want to leave and you can tell me how this thing is going to be paid, if you do owe me something, then the guy who's taking you, if they really value you, then they'll pay what you owe. If they really value you. But if they're going to leave you with the debt, they're also going to give you other things. You're going to have debts in two places. Yeah. Now go make up your mind. You know, at the end of the day, you know, as some of my Jewish friends said that, you know, contracts literally for when shit goes wrong. You know what I mean? But we should be, but if we want to work together, let's work together. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And part of when shit goes wrong, when you say you want to leave and there's this, there could be something that whatever, and you do want to leave, then let's sit. You know, I want to see you grow. I want to see you be great, right? So I can't, if I can't give you whatever else is coming next, and you say you want to leave. But once again, I keep on saying, when you're with us, you're either like moving with the investment cats, or you're either there moving with just the music cats who just care about your music at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah. And this investment thing that you guys have, is it open to each and every artist? And if not, how do you select who gets to benefit from that?
Well, I mean, if I've got like, so we've got statements that we have for, that show how much guys have made, and et cetera, et cetera. So if let's say there was the 1, 2, 3, just want to make my numbers right. I mean, wrong numbers, be like, yo, I couldn't even count it before.
And he's got
Investment, what?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
got a fintech.
So if the four of us, let's just say the four of us literally like made like 100,000 together, you know, in our music, you know, you maybe made like 60,000, you know, yeah. You made like 15, you know, I made 580, so this makes like you made 20, right? Yeah. So when we go invest, because it's not like we literally invest we want to invest 2 quarters a year. So in this pool of investment, if we all investing, whatever we're investing, wherever we're investing, when the money grows and it comes back, it will be in the ratio of our split of the bat. Yeah. And then obviously then we'll have another, because then we'll have another kind of pocket of investments. Let's just say like, once we've raised money again, we might have new artists, you might still have your music, your other old music that's still streaming, so now you become part of a greater group, or you can say you want to claim, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much where we at. That's what we're looking at.
See, all of this is thoroughly detailed from us asking all of these questions, right? Yeah. How available is this information for people that are totally in the dark for the mechanics of how one signs onto such platforms and how they can benefit from them?
I think the key thing for me at this point, because some of this stuff was launched like a month ago or so, you know, and we're still just like working on some bugs, you know, some technical bugs. For me, it was really like, I mean, we're having this conversation. We haven't even started buying the media to say that we're a distro. So I literally want to just solve some of the technical bugs that we're having at this point, because it is tech, you know. So I just want to solve some of the technical bugs before I really go out loud. You know, a big thing that we do, we also want to do kind of a financial literacy kind of tour where, see, that's why I can't diss the banks, you know what I mean? So we want to do like a financial, we want to do a financial literacy kind of workshop thing, which, it's really going back to the fact that it's teaching these things, you know. And I want to just go back to the fact that even the drum, as we say, started somewhere in Africa, somewhere, I don't know where, you know.
Tanzania.
Maybe in Soweto, because everything. But even the drum started from somewhere, and you know, I always go, you know, the thing about the beauty of history is that history is the gift of the future, you know. And if you just have the basics that the drum starts here, so if the drum has influenced the world, you are part of that drum. If you literally like have something drumming inside you and you're creative and you can make songs, there's something drumming inside you that you could be in Alexandria, and Alexandria people will get it, and then other people in every hood will get it, because the hoods are almost the same. Not everyone will, it won't be for everybody, right? But you are able to just drum that out because you've got the gift of drumming that out. And when you drum that thing out, you must always remember that, like, that drum, it should be the same drum that literally makes you say, we also own those buildings. We also own this. Because for some of us, literally, like, some cats, like, the academics won't work. For some cats, the academics are going to work. Because the truth of the matter is that, like, when you're drumming this, there's a kid who's an accountant, a finance guy sitting there going, like, he's going to learn that accounting through the context of that cool thing. Yeah. Because right now, everything, whether it's coding, whether it's in the context of the global perspective, the global lens. You know what I mean? So right now, what's making us fall behind is that most things that are progressive are not in the context of like a kid that comes from a township. And if they are trying to be that, they still think it's probably still like old school apartheid thinking of what it is. You know what I mean? So as people right now, I got to tell you guys some bad news. As we stand here, and a lot of our thinking is out of context. it's not genuinely from who we really are. A lot of the things we're doing is really out of context. Do you understand when I never really like messed with Young Jeezy, because at the time when he started coming out, because I was more like a New York hip hop guy, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, when I went to Atlanta and he was doing his whole Snowman promotion and I was there, I was inside the body of the context. I became a Young Jeezy fan real fast. I never cared that he doesn't have the rhymes of the New York guys. It was like I was in the context, in the body of it. You know what I mean? And it's not like they did much. I was just in the city, and like you went to and you heard, and you're like, wow, I'm in the body of it. You know, we have made not to believe that we have a body of context. So that's why we always adapt things that are not ours. That's why we literally like are comfortable in. That's why we don't buy into our own stuff. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, it's like, yes, we'll be excited about drip, but they're not top of mind when we want to go out there and buy. You know, we could talk about, regardless of the politics, because I always use this example. Y'all don't forget that Nike also almost kicked the bucket once upon a time.
Yeah, true.
They were still Nike.
True.
But
Nike.
if we had to have that with any one of these companies, we're going to be like, Marabona ba, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So my thing is that literally, that thinking of ours, to not put our things first, is because we're out of context.
Yeah.
Literally, like the most of the country of black South Africans are out of context of who they really are.
What would you say needs to happen? What's the context that we should be living in or being aware of?
I mean, I'm also trying to be in context.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But like, it would be a lie for you to tell if I told you that I am in context. I'm trying to be in context. And part of me being in context is literally like always like prioritizing my ideas and the things that I have in mind and fighting for those things and giving myself space to think out of what will happen if, what will so-and-so think, or this is not like culturally like relevant, or this is not what people normally do. It's almost like the reason is because you are connected to, all of us, we connected to something greater from our ancestors before you even go to God. I am telling you right now, forget it. Forget it. You are connected to you're doing something that your great-grandfather used to do that you never met.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that with my son. He does things that I'm like, you know, I'm seeing that with my daughter. My daughter will be like 3 years. She'll be like pulling her face like a mother, like on some random, you know, stuff. You know what I mean? There's small things that we're doing that literally like, that show that we are a part of something that was here before us. Yeah. There are thoughts that we have also, whether it's thoughts of conquering, whether it's thoughts of insecurity, whether it's thoughts of, there are thoughts that we have that literally we have inherited from something before us. So firstly, if we literally like start fighting for the context of ourselves, then we are literally like, and then when we bring that to other people, and other people also like embrace that because they're in the context of themselves, that's the beginning of it. You know, it's not a deep thing, because it's like it's almost like collective consciousness to a certain extent. You know what I mean? But our conscious is imbalanced because, you know, like he thinks that this is cool because of that. But because generally, like the mainstream platforms are consistently pushing us to be out of context. Because when we're out of context, we keep consuming them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So immediately when you're in context, you literally go, I don't know, how does this talk to me? It doesn't move me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the reason why you have to be out of context is because then you have to be in the context of commercialism. And commercialism, literally, most commercialism that's in this country is literally imported. It's brought to us, right? So because it's brought to us, how are they going to sell to a kid from Val? I mean, think about it. If you like a global company and you're selling deodorant, how are you going to sell the deodorant to a kid from Val?
On TheSobering.
I mean, come on. Big facts.
In context.
Come on.
But
18 more.
you know,
18 more.
I see you on top of it, you know. But like how? But seriously though.
He was just giving you context.
Yeah. I got that. No, but like, you know, like, I mean, if think about this in its most purest form. You've got like deodorant, or you've got a drink. Don't call it Coca-Cola, don't call it, you've got a drink. You are sitting in Atlanta and you want to go, I'm going to sell that drink to somebody in the Val. How do you make that guy buy that drink in the Val? So now I go to the Val and I go sell it. The guys from the Val are just drinking water, or they've got their own kind of whatever they have. If I need to literally get them to buy it, I need to make them buy into the context of of something that like they don't have, right? An idea, an aspiration that's not a reality.
Yeah.
You know? Or an aspiration that they probably won't get. You know how they used to sell cigarettes back in the day? Like they used to sell these holidays. Half the guys that died of cancer never went to none of those holidays. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
You know, that's how they... So I need to sell you that. So I get you out of the context of your reality. So immediately, if I make you feel like you can get to the Miami so fast, because when you're holding this thing, it gets you to Miami. Your aspirations of literally going, you know what, I'm actually going to go water. I'm going to go do this water and buy the water, literally shrink. Because you could have had aspirations of maybe creating your own water and selling your own water. But like now, that aspiration shrinks and this other one literally grows because it gets hammered in your head, right? And as it gets hammered in your head, you were going to go literally do water because you knew the context of your community, right? So now but these guys go, don't worry about that. We've got you covered. And you'll go to Miami. So you buy into this thing, and your community does need it too, but like now it's coming from their context, not from your context. And their context is this big, and when you say you're going to start small, your people are like, we're not used to small and we don't believe it unless it's this big. Yeah. So you see, even the mentality of black folks is so jaded that they think that things that work are the things that are successful. They think that things that literally like are credible, that things that have been, that like these are multi-billion companies, they don't know that, they don't literally think from a context that things that are gonna work are things that are built by us, you know, in our context.
Oh, things starts from somewhere.
Things in our context. Yeah. You know, so essentially, you know, that's how out of context we are. We are so comfortable with I've heard people going, "Oh, South Africa, oh, power-ish. If I could just live in America," I'm like, out of context. You don't know the half.
You don't know the cost of living that side.
Forget the cost of living, just the cost of being black.
Yeah.
I ain't even going there, you know, like, you know, so even though we out of context, there's more empathy for being black here because there's enough of us to have empathy for us, and we can create a majority and make a movement. But I'm telling you, anyone that goes, ooh, South Africa, this, you know, and, you know, maybe we should just move to the States or to Europe, because I'm telling you, it's nice, you'll get electricity, but there's no context of you. And that's what you got to prioritize in life, because the context of you literally develops the context of us, right? And that literally goes, that literally builds the economy of us. So why do I do distribution? Why don't I just do distribution? Yeah. Because I realize that the music is coming from the context of creators. If the money is coming from the context, it's coming in this sense, and they can actually buy into the world or buy from their context. Yeah. We'll have our issues, of course, like everything that's new will have issues. But I'd rather navigate those issues than literally like sit there and go, I know I'm going to invest on my own. I know I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we cannot also mute what the world has built also. Sure. You know, because the world is not built by race, it's built by people. So you got to actually also go learn from those people who've also ran the track, no matter what race they are, then bring it back in your context.
So question, you keep using the word creators. What other creators can invest with your company?
I mean, like I'll talk like the long-term vision right now with this. Right now, we have to get the music collection and that right. We
Yeah.
need to get that right.
Yeah.
We're not trying to just open up, but eventually, besides creators, we want to open it up to general people who literally go, oh, this music investment group is buying into this. I also want to actually like invest in this. So we want to open it up to that's the vision.
That's the long-term
That's
vision.
the vision. But we gotta fix what hasn't been, what's broken now, what's immediate, what we can immediately fix, and then we can be generic for everybody else.
You don't think it's a tough one with the short-term like needs of the musician? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's why they have the choice to either. The truth of the matter that some guys are going to collect, some guys aren't going to collect.
Yeah.
That's why we've got Soul Wallet. When you do collect them, we can pay you there.
Yeah.
Dope.
And on the app, is there an ability to see how much you can collect? Like, say I've made 60,000, you said, and I'm like, I could use like a 20,000 for a night out, night conca. Can I just drag it?
We've got support. We've got a button called support. You can send a mail support. Hey, support. And we've also got like physical people that are working.
All those bots in context, all of them.
The bots are built by people in context. So, we've got support. But the support literally, we haven't built a bot system yet. But the support, literally, there's 4 of us that literally like are engaging between the fintech, if anyone has used the Slikour Life wallet, what we're finishing off on the wallet right now, it's the withdrawal of the money. Because right now you can put in money, but you can't pull it out, right?
So that's why the guys couldn't withdraw their money.
Yeah, so because we just finishing off that feature.
Yeah.
So you know what guys have been saying, there's a support, but that support comes to me because I literally need to settle that, and I try to settle it within 24, 48 hours if guys have the money there. But in a week or so, you'll be able to pull your money from if you put in money on the, i.e., if literally you had to buy tickets to come to one of the Greasy Tunes event, and they ran out, and they ran out of tickets, but you've already put your money in your Soul Wallet, and now you like. You know, that's what people have been experiencing. The money is stuck, tickets are sold out. So now we've had to almost play like pay people their money back in that sense, which I've been handling. So this is why I've literally stopped. We've been doing a couple of events over the past. I stopped doing events because literally I was for an hour just hours and hours responding to guys. Please send me a screenshot of the balance so I can pay you. I've been polite for too long, you know. So I was like, no, we're not doing any more events until we've like finished that thing that allows you to draw. But it was good for us just to test and just to see. And we tested it in. You're all from Val.
Nah. He's from the Cowser.
Like
Cowser.
all day.
Cowser.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Cowboys.
Okay, wherever that is. But the reality is...
Context. Let's give him context.
Give him context.
I'm gonna give this man context. It's in Limpopo. It's Leboahom.
Yeah. South of
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. We got someone that says
course,
on the Slick on the
Yeah, definitely.
You see what I mean?
Cowser. The Cowboys.
Yeah, but the context now that we need to be aware of is time.
Yeah.
And it navigates us all.
We out of time.
Yeah,
Running out of time.
Yeah, man, we've been living the sitcom life. We even have cue cards, you know, when they put up applause, you see 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, you thought they were applauding for you. No, they got the cue.
I ain't seen nothing, dog.
All the context you need,
I
my
ain't
boy.
seen nothing, yo. Damn.
Context, and you know, in terms of context, you know, we must contextualize where we are. It's Greasy Tunes, Greasy Tunes Cafe.
All day.
Big shout out to Spotify
All
for
day.
putting this together and putting everybody in a room and giving us this platform, you know, and Slikour to be here to impart some knowledge. And I do think, I'm sure you guys also want to ask a few questions.
Yeah.
So there will be a roving mic for you to, you know, gain further context of what this man has been speaking about and further context on what you're thinking about as well.
Jean-Michel?
Jean-Michel's right there with the mic if you got questions.
Guys, don't be shy. Let's ask a question next.
Hello. So I'm hearing you speak a lot about so previously, the previous episode with Greasy Tunes, Folker talked about how we are our ancestors' revenge. in how what art is becoming now is reclaiming what was taken from us. And I'm hearing you repeat similar sentiments, right? But I also know that coming into that journey of realizing that doing art is beyond just doing it. It's greater than, like, the purpose is greater, right? How do you, and some experiences are different, like, for example, you come in as a musician, like as a rapper, but then you find yourself now going into producing and like you grow in the whole like journey of art. How do you as an artist accept that what you're doing is beyond your control? You are a messenger of what you're doing. How do you accept that journey? Because it's hard sometimes to let go maybe of one thing and venture into something else. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah. It's the constant, for me, it's, and everybody's got their own thing. Don't be attached to one thing. You know, if you see yourself as a creator, just always remember that you're literally going to do that. And you're going to get the signs of what you need to do. You know, you might still think that you need to sing. Like for me, I know I rap, but I don't think I'm gonna be filling up the dome. You know what I mean? That's out of context. You know what I mean? But I will write. But I will write a song. You know, and just have it there, and then carry on doing other stuff. You know, so it's like constantly listening. It's part of that. It's part of like listening. So you are doing things within your context. So like, what is writing a song? You know, because when you write a song, you imagine, right? You might imagine and you might see visuals in your head when you imagine. So what stops you from actually like telling visual stories also? You know what I mean? So it's not single. It's just what are you ready to move into, and what is the universe saying? This is what's embracing you, because sometimes you want to move into a world. I mean, I've been trying to move into like the TV content world ever since I started Slick on Life, like 5 years in. But the universe wasn't allowing me. It wasn't my time. It was in my head. But like, I would get frustrated, you know. But then when you immediately have done some stuff, you go, in retrospect, you know, because even the people who are now managing your visual content, there are people that are literally also saying, we'll come help you. Though you were going to literally like fall. I was going to fall if I did it like, or when I was sending like when Channel O literally was putting up like some of her stuff, our podcast, like before COVID, you know, they're already doing that. Yeah, you know, so I wasn't ready to do that because I hadn't even built the network of guys who can actually prepare me if like an opportunity came. But my mind was there. But I never knew that I wasn't ready. Only now when it's happening, I'm like, okay, I wasn't ready. And even now when I'm putting it out there in the universe, I'm saying, I want to literally go 10, 18 million, 180 million productions. I'm putting it out there in the universe. But I know that like, if I'm going to get ready, I need to start like literally playing around people who are doing that so the universe can find me. But right now, I just need to stay on my lane within the context of what the universe is opening up. And that's another thing about context. Context makes you aware of what the universe is saying, of who's saying what in the universe, and how are you going to use that? You know what I mean?
Dope.
Great question.
Great question.
Let's applaud or not? Let's go. That's my nigga.
Pimalamba for you too.
Sure.
Slikour, I've been trying to ask this question because seeing the development of Squatter Camp, seeing the development of so many groups, how do you manage egos when it comes to being in a group, making sure that you develop as a group, and also making sure that everyone eats and we all go as a unit? Because you've been talking so much about like us building the black community, building a community, but like, how do you figure out where everyone needs to play their part and how stuff like that? Because you have homies here, the three of them, they're doing like an amazing thing. But also, you also as Squatter Camp, you also did an amazing thing. And you're still doing an amazing thing. But how do you keep that knowledge and how do you pass on the knowledge? And because we see like Yoris Malisas and like other camps, they fall apart because someone feels like they're bigger than someone else. But how do you get that unity? How do you get that experience?
That's my nigga, man.
I think that I think everybody's got a different story, you know, with working with groups, you know. I mean, shit, it ain't like we don't have a rocky relationship with the squatter camp guys, you know what I mean? Shit is real, you know, shit gets real on the WhatsApps, you know? But in fact, I've retired myself from speaking to them niggas right now in that group, you know, and about squatter camp related stuff. But the thing is that we homies, right? We homies and we friends, and that's how it is. But a big lesson also in life is that like you cannot take people because you need to take yourself there. You know, that's a very, very important thing to literally go by in life. You need to get there. You know, you are not an angel. I will see Lozi. You need to get there. But you cannot take people. The people who are going with you are going with you. You cannot think that like you have the power to have a vision, but at the same time also have the power to choose your tribe. You can't win both battles. Your tribe will find you. Immediately when you find your tribe, that means you're trying to control, and it could be contrived. So you need to focus on moving forward, doing what you do, and you'll attract your tribe. And that's how it is. So yeah, and even in your tribe, some people could be there for a short term, long term. Some people can come, some people can leave, but they'll come back later. But if you are really moving in the context, this is a beautiful word. If you're moving in the context of what you really need to do, you cannot also like have the time to choose your tribe, because that means that now you're trying to play a God role, saying that I know where you need to go in life. Like right now, you know, I kind of go back to the fact that like Helen chose me to write the book. You know, I never chose her. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. I wouldn't just go, hey, Helen, could you write? I'm like, Helen, I got a content thing to do. You know, but like Helen chose me, you know, a lot of things will choose you. But it's not like me and Helen are cool, but it's not like me and Helen, like, we're chilling, we grew up together from the Val, we did it. It's, you know.
You like the Val, don't you?
Shout out to the Val.
I mean, you know, I'm being like geographic considerate right now, you know.
Geographical context.
Yeah. Geographical context is very important. But it's not like that. But she's a person that we know each other because as colleagues in the industry. But, you know, but she chose me, and obviously my story chose her. Your tribe chooses you at the end of the day. And if you make peace with the fact that your tribe is going to choose you, and you just need to focus on your truth, sometimes you got to believe that you're alone. Sometimes you got to feel that you're alone. Sometimes you got to feel that you're crazy. Sometimes you got to feel like you're an outcast. And then you got to literally hone on all those things. And then the people that actually come. It's like, you know, they say Maumubi, the girl that says you're still beautiful. That's
your tribe.
That's your tribe, so even in the things that you need, even in your ambitions, if your ambitions literally like isolate you, if your ambitions make people push you out, you know what I mean? The people that go, yo, I love what you're doing, that's your tribe.
Shout out to the Sober
It will not be your homies. Your homies be like, that's bora manch. You know? And by the way, the reason why I'm just saying this, because we also think that the tribe are people that look like us also.
Big truth.
It's not
Big
people
facts.
that look like us most of the times.
Big facts.
Yeah, some are light skin.
We got one more
Right
question. One more question. Let's rock.
I gotta go again. Let's make this quick.
Hello.
Wow.
I just wanted to know about the platform. So besides distributions, which other services do you offer? Do you help artists shoot music videos? Do you cover playlisting? I just want to know like the different things you offer.
So by default, we do like clean distribution. We literally pitch artists' music to distribution. Once again, we do pitch music to playlists. Sorry, on that note, we do have a studio resource that we built, which if you book on time and the team is there, you could use our studio for free. We do have like post-production resources. If you have a guy who knows how to edit videos, do stuff, they can come in our system, use the Adobe, do what they need to do. So for us, it's almost like if you got a team of guys who actually have got the skills, you know, to do things, we've got the resources if you book it accordingly, and we don't recoup for that. So yeah, so we don't help you, we help you help yourself, basically.
Cool. Dope.
All right. You know those signals. I mean, this is visual as well. When you see this, it means wrap it up there.
Round it up.
Round it up. Slikour, we can't thank you enough. We can go for hours and hours.
Three-time alumni also.
Shout out.
Yeah.
There was a lost episode.
Yeah.
There's a lost episode, but
lost tapes.
Alumni,
Yeah, there's a lost tape. But
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Did you do that one in the studio?
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to that interview.
Well,
it's good where it's at.
yeah, it belongs there. No context.
Yeah.
But
no
anyway,
context.
thank you for pulling up. Again, thank you, Spotify. Thank you to everybody that pulled up here. Greasy Tunes. Thank you, Sober Soldiers.
Greasy Tunes.
Thank you, Big Wara. Thank you, Kikita. Thank you, Big Fred.
Kiki's over fit.
And with that being said, I think this is the part that everybody can say because, we really love moms. The Sobering loves moms. I think this is an easy one when we sign out, right? Can we all do it in unison?
One, two, three.
Shout out to my mom.
Does it.
Yeah.
Does it.
Thank you, guys.